What's up? Just wanted to give a review of the Conclave movie. So I had the opportunity to watch it with my wife and my in-laws. My in-laws were quite interested in the movie. My wife and myself, well, more of my wife, we're kind of like, oh, Christian movie. It's gonna be cringe, bro. But look, it wasn't too bad. It was actually quite an interesting movie. In terms of the atmosphere, we watched it at Hoyt Cinema in Penrith in Western Sydney, Australia. Look, we thought when we arrived, we're going to be the only people watching the movie, but to our surprise, there were a lot of people who turned up, and we had a group of nuns who sat a few aisles in front of us, so there was genuine interest in the movie. Look, I think Hoyt's probably had the same idea, and they were like, oh, we're going to put Conclave in that really old school movie theatre, because my wife was talking to my in-laws. They hadn't been to movies in a long time, and she was like, oh, we're going to be in the seats that recline and decline, but when we got there it was not the case, and I was like, oh well, we do live in a secular country, maybe they just put us there for the fun of it. But look, just grateful we got to watch the movie, so enough about that. I've heard some commentators, especially Bishop Rob Barron, warned Catholics not to watch the movie because it's got woke ideology. Now look, my view in terms of movies, if you're buying like clothes and shoes or cars, I'd say it's hard for you to critique or review something unless you've experienced it first. And I think, to be fair to the movie, you have to watch it before you can make a judgment. And this is the beauty of having discernment, allowing the Holy Spirit to aid you in discerning, what could be right, what could not be right. And if you've watched Sister Act, the musical, that was 1,000 times more offensive. So I was quite grateful in terms of Conclave, because I was like, oh please, I don't want to see two cardinals kissing each other. And nope, that was not the case. And look, even though you had the intersex cardinal, at least in his explanation, he didn't know about it until he injured himself and went to the hospital. There was, I know it's still offensive, but to a point, at least indirectly, there was some sort of reverence there that makes sense. Like, it wasn't outright, we're going to show people kissing each other in the movie. So yeah, look, I think obviously you're going to suspend disbelief in some parts of it. Like, obviously it's contradictory to church teachings, but at the same time it's a reality of a mess that we live in, and it's easy just to walk away from it. But I think we have to confront these issues, because in the future we're going to have to ask these questions again, and as time goes on. In terms of the messages that I got from the movie, the first is, although there's an exaggeration of the arguments that would happen in the conclave, look, it is a depiction of what the church looks like. So you have different factions. You got people who want to go back to Christendom, you got people who want to be progressive, and look, it's similar at a local and a parish level. You go to any church, you already got parishioners and clergy who are on different sides. And look, that's just the reality of what we work in, and hope is that the Holy Spirit can bring us together, or there's a way that the Holy Spirit can work in people, that even though we have differences, there's some harmony where people can get along. And I think the other big message in terms of the selection of the different cardinals to be the Pope is that we're all human and we all have flaws. So you can look for this ideal person that may reflect the values of Jesus, but the reality is because everyone's sinned, everyone's got skeletons in the closet, it's going to be hard to find someone ideal. And once again, you just have to hope that the Holy Spirit will influence them, and in a way guide everyone on the path to Jesus, and to serve his kingdom as best as possible. So those are my views on the movie. Obviously there's some stuff that's just unbelievable. Like, I don't think you could ever nominate a cardinal that came out of nowhere. Like, that would never happen. And obviously I think you have medicals before you enter the seminary as well. So there was some moments of disbelief there that you have to suspend. But overall, I think it's a movie that gets you to think, it confronts you. And I had that same experience watching Calvary many years ago as well, of the issues that we're facing in the church today and how we can invite God to be there, to assist us, in trying to animate our faith as best as we can. What do you think? Let me know what your thoughts are. God bless.